And welcome to Ralph's house. Well, this isn't the normal Ralph's house. Well, it's not, of course. This lockdown's crippling, isn't it? And also, I'm coming up to Christmas, so I've kind of, I've actually stopped on doing anything on the house at the moment. I do have, I have put the stair lift back, which is good. I'll show you a shot of that now, just to prove I put it back. But that's not why I'm here, because it's Christmas and we're all a bit fed up, me included. I've had some very low points, I'm sure we all have. But my sister turned up at my door, suitably masked up, and gave me a couple of fabulous books. And those two are on the top of this pile, but I wanted to show you these. And I have actually got a Facebook page, and I did cover them on there. But I'm going to do it again, just for Ralph's house. And the first book is... if you're wondering what that was, it's vitamin D. Look it up. Anyway, Boring Postcards. The worst postcards you've ever seen in your life. Great book. Look at that. The bypass at Cowbridge. This book is full of total gems. Oh, I kind of recognise that. Yeah, it's Croydon. They just get better. And there's a whole section of motorway service stations as well. It just goes on and on. I tell you, this book will keep you entertained for a very long time. Anyway, that's what it's called. Boring Postcards. Hope that helps you if you want to find it. Worth buying. Second book is all good stuff for lockdown. And I'm not given to classics, but how about this one? Terrible Estate Agent Photos. Yeah, what? Yeah, it's full of them. I mean, look at that. Yeah, there are hundreds in here. Absolutely hundreds of them. We'll just try at random. How about this one? They're just great, aren't they? Honestly, can you see yourself living there? Come on, you can. You can. And who's that figure at the door? That's just plain creepy. Oh, look. A bit of shake and back. That'll soon be fine, that will. Yeah, this book just gives and gives. Look at this one. That's that one. Terrible Estate Agent Photos. Great thing if you're not doing Ralph's house. And the third one, well, actually the next ones I've picked out. And the next two are ones that I've actually got. As I don't read classics, but I love this kind of stuff. This one is Useful Information for the Home. And what used to happen in the 1920s, 30s, and even before that, men and women were not as... Well, let's put it this way. If you were seen with a member of the opposite sex, it was assumed you were going to be engaged and married, and that was it. It was difficult. Nowadays, people get to try first, don't they? And where it might have been frowned upon to be sleeping before marriage, now it's a sort of prerequisite. So you know how things work. But it's got everything in here. I mean, if you get chilblains, and I have had them, if you ever go out on a freezing cold day, do not put your hands on the radiator. Worst thing you can do. Worst pain. Yeah, Robin Starch. Can you still buy that? Well, you could when I was a kid, but you can still buy silver. Oh, look, this dates this book, doesn't it? Look. Get a bit of focus. Patronised by royalty. Look at that. For Nanny. Yeah, it's all good stuff. This is the kind of book you want to read. I always think, when it comes to reading books, you want the sort that you can sit and read on the loo and just pick it up anywhere and not have to start at the beginning. They're the kind of books I like. Like another one I've got, Nice Cup of Tea and a Sit Down. Highly recommend that one. It's all about biscuits and it's got a sense of humour with it. So that's that one. Useful information for the home. Next one is, and my dad collected lots of Hobbies annuals. There were stacks of them and I'm sure they had some value. And it grieved me somewhat to put them all in the skip, but I just thought, I'm not going to read them. And I'll end up doing what my father did and just they'll be sat in a cupboard somewhere. So in the skip they went. But I did keep a couple of his sort of DIY books because they are quite fascinating. I've got two of these, one from 1953, one from 1957. And this was during the era in the 1950s and into the early 60s where DIY in the home was encouraged and you could get sort of, you know, monthly magazines on, you know, how to erect your own greenhouse, that kind of stuff. And yeah, people were killed and electrocuted. Now the laws have all changed and there's lots of things you can't do. If it's electrical, certain electrical work, you've got to call an electrician, and you don't work on gas at all unless it's by an approved gas engineer. But in the day, anything went. So let's just have a look at the sort of things we've got in here. An egg slicer. A holder for carvers. What else have we got? A bottle dredging gadget. You see, you might want one of those. And if you did, you're only going to find it in here. A dolly for the play chest. Oh, to get over the problem of your child dragging his heavy play chest over the floors. Well, just tell him not to do it, for goodness sake. First aid for flowers. Freeze frame it if you want to know. I'm not going to read it. Yeah. Yeah, these are good. They're great. I mean, you can sort of dip in anywhere. My dad was an amateur magician, and he used to buy the Abracadabra magazine. In fact, he had every edition of Abracadabra from the day it was first published. I don't know when that would have been. I'm guessing, I don't know, 1940s. 1942, I think. And he had every single copy. And he'd painstakingly organised them all into sections. And I just sold them to some bloke in Harwich. That's the way the world goes. I was never going to read them again, but as a boy I used to read them a lot, and they were kind of this kind of thing, how to make a magic prop, whatever. And I found that fascinating. So that's that book. Mammoth Gadgets Annual. You can find them online. They come up on eBay. Worth buying. And finally, sent through the post by my sister, I'm a huge fan of John Shuttleworth. Yes, indeed. And so... well, I'm going to try and read this. However, there was something I noticed when I opened it. I have never seen such grey text. And if you're at my age, it's not that easy to read. So, not sure how I'm going to tackle that. I have to make sure I've got my Power 3 reading glasses on for starters. But I will work my way through it. He's quite a humorist, John Shuttleworth. Very subtle. People don't quite get him. And the thing about Graham Fellows, who is John Shuttleworth, he plays this character for real. And when he goes out and films and he does a lot of things in the street, people just take him as he is. And it's the viewer or the listener that actually gets the joke. I think that's very clever. Very, very clever. Hats off to you, Graham. And keep going with him. He's good. Yeah, so that's the last of my books. That's it from Ralph's house, and that's the only one I'm going to do before Christmas. But I just hope, you know, a quick look at these books. As I say, I don't read classics. I'm not into Wordsworth, although I do have all that sort of stuff. I much prefer these light reads. Get that one. Boring postcards. You'll laugh for hours. That's it from Ralph's house. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and leave a comment. All right, and see you in the new year. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.